Yeah, you're just gonna walk up, and we're just all gonna give him a round of applause. No, just playing. Yeah, you could just walk up though. What's going on, Faded Culture? It's Sergio Barron, and we back again with another haircut tutorial. Today I got my boy Mo here on the chair, and I'm gonna be showing y'all my step-by-step process on how to do a skin mohawk fade with some texture on top. If y'all enjoyed this tutorial, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also consider subscribing to the channel so y'all can check out the rest of the videos that we drop on this channel. So with that being said, guys, let's just jump right into this tutorial. Boom. Alright guys, so to start we're going to lay down our first guideline at the temple peak point, and with the clipper lever closed we're going to lay down our first guideline, making sure that it goes straight towards the back, and then it's going to basically follow around the ear and go straight down the back of his head since we're doing that mohawk fade. We're going to lay down that first guideline as clean as possible and make sure it's just as straight as possible as well. And then we're just going to repeat the exact same thing on the opposite side, making sure that again you start from that temple peak area and then just follow that line around his ear, making sure that it curves downwards, and it just goes, yeah, just make sure that it's laid down as clean as possible, because the rest of our guidelines are just gonna lay according to this first one. Next, you're just gonna want to open that lever all the way on your clipper, and we're gonna lay down our next guideline about a pinky finger in width, or about a ½ inch, and we're just gonna make sure that we lay down that next guideline running parallel to that previous one. So just take your time, let the clipper do all the cutting. All you're doing is guiding the clipper in a smooth manner over that first guideline to lay down our second one. Then once you're done with one side, you're going to repeat the exact same thing on the opposite side of his head. And also guys, I forgot to say, make sure that when you've laid down your first guideline, they're even on both sides before you start laying down the rest of the guidelines. You don't want your mohawks to be different on each side, so just make sure you do that before you start laying down your next guidelines. Next, after this, I'm gonna grab my one guard with the lever all the way open, and we're gonna lay down our next guideline. For this one, just like before, we're gonna come up about another pinky finger in width, or a ½ inch higher than the previous guideline that we set. And again, just make sure that it's running parallel to the previous guidelines that were laid down. Just a quick reminder guys, I'll have all these steps written in written format down here in the description, and y'all can also check out all the links to all the tools and products that we use on our haircuts as well. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the number 2 guard, still leaving that lever all the way open. And here we're gonna more so try to focus on trying to connect the side length to the top, but just coming up about another finger in width, guys. I'm not gonna try to completely blend into the top, so I'm gonna just come up about another finger in width, but I'm gonna try to imitate the way I had the comb on the head shape, and that's kind of the direction that I'm gonna take the clipper outwards as I try to connect the side length to the top. And what we do to one side is what we're going to do to the opposite side the exact same way. And to finish connecting whatever else is left, you could use clipper over comb. For this one, I'm gonna switch it up and I'm gonna wet his hair a little bit so I can finish connecting the side of his hair to the top mohawk with my shears. And just grabbing a small section at a time, I'm gonna angle my fingers in a triangle shape or like about a 45-degree angle shape to shape out that mohawk look. And then just working my way back around the sides of the mohawk, grabbing that same angle of hair and just trimming away to connect the side length to the top. And once you get to the back, it could get a little tricky. It took me a while to kind of learn how to angle my my hand backwards to grab the hair like this. But just take your time, and you'll get it down with practice. Then we're just going to repeat the exact same steps on the opposite side so that we can finish shaping out the mohawk. Then once the mohawk is shaped out, we're going to blow dry his hair really quick so we can start detailing and blending out our 3 guidelines that we laid down. So as you see here, we have our first guideline right here that we laid down with our clipper lever closed. Then we have our next middle guideline that we laid down with the clipper lever open. Then we have our following last third guideline that we laid down with that 1 guard lever all the way open. We're going to start by taking out that top guideline and then work our way all the way down until we get to that first guideline. For the top one, I'm going to use that 1.5 clip, and I'm going to position the lever to 3/4. That lever position, all it is in between halfway and all the way open. And I'm going to come in using more so the corner of the clipper in a detailed fashion so that I can better get in there on that guideline and blend it out as smooth as possible. Take your time, guys. This part does take time, so just kind of angle the clipper in different ways until you start seeing that line blend out. And if you feel like that lever position ain't doing any blending, then go ahead and close it a little bit at a time until you start seeing that line kind of disappear as you blend with that clipper. And that's kind of how you'll figure what lever position you'll need to take out the rest of the guideline. But for the most part, at 3/4 open, it seems to do the job for me. Then once you're done blending that top guideline, we're going to move on to the middle one. For that one, I'm going to throw on the half clip, and I'm going to still leave that lever position to 3/4 open and start blending on that middle guideline. Just keep in mind, guys, that this guard won't completely take out this middle guideline all the way out. So just focus on starting to blend it out with this guard as much as possible, just coming up a tad bit as you blend over the line. And then whatever little dark areas that we are creating will come back with the higher guard to finish blending out. So for now, like I said, just keep blending at the initial start of this guideline as much as possible. And also, guys, really quick, I want to thank y'all for the continued support that we've been getting as we get closer to that 400K subscriber mark. And so stay tuned, because we will be doing that 400K giveaway. So like I said, since there were some dark areas left above, we're going to come back in with that 1 guard, but this time at 3/4 open. And we're just going to continue blending that middle guideline all the way out. Then once that middle guideline is completely blended out, we'll move forward with taking out our last guideline. For that last guideline, it's going to take 4 lever positions to blend out, starting with the clipper open a tad bit, then halfway open, then 3/4 open, and then all the way open. First, I open it just a tad bit, and then I start blending that first guideline. Then once you're done blending with that lever position, we're just gonna open that lever to the halfway mark, and then just continue blending a little bit higher. Then we're just gonna open the lever to that 3/4 spot and then just continue blending a little bit higher. So as you see guys, as you open that lever, you're just progressing a tad bit higher at a time into that line until we completely blend it out. So after this one, we'll just open it all the way to finish blending out that first guideline. So once we're done here blending out the last guideline, we can come back in and do any touch-up work if needed. For this one, I felt like right here towards the back, I did see some dark areas still, so I came back in with the half clip, lever position at 3/4, and then just detailed those little dark areas out until I got a consistent blend all throughout this side of his hair. Then once we're done with that one side, we're gonna repeat the exact same steps on the opposite side. Again guys, we're just gonna start with that clipper lever open a little bit from being closed, and then we open it halfway, then we open it to 3/4, and then we open it all the way until that last guideline is completely blended out. And then if you need any touch-up work, come back in with that half clip at 3/4 open, and then just detail any little dark areas that you see to finish tying in that blend all together. So here, like I said guys, if needed be, we're gonna come in with that half clip open to 3/4, and then just detail any little dark areas that still need to be blended out for our touch-up work. And now for the rest of the bottom of the hair, first I'm gonna come in with my trimmer upside down to start pushing down on the top of the bottom of the hair. And I'm doing this because in this manner it kind of leaves the hair balder. So whatever little faint line that it creates right above is, I'm gonna just flip the trimmer right back over to its natural position and just blend out that little faint line that we have created. And I do it upside down first guys, so that when I come back in here and take out the rest of the bottom of the hair, we'll be able to distinguish that little faint line. And that little faint line is just gonna serve us as another guideline to show us how high to come up with our electric shaver. So then all we have left to do is to come in with our electric shaver and then just blend up until that little faint line that we had created with the trimmer. And if you, for whatever reason, you do feel like you created a little hard line with the electric shaver, just come back in with your trimmer and just quickly take it right back out. Then once I'm done with the fade, I'm gonna come back to the top and I'm gonna add a little bit of texture to the mohawk. All I'm doing is grabbing a section at a time, working my way up towards the front and cutting these little 45-degree cuts into the top of the hair to create that soft texture on top. And whatever we do down the middle, we're gonna repeat on the left side of his head. Again, just starting from the back, working my way all the way to the front, and then we'll start from the back right side and then work my way up all the way to the front as well. Again, just doing point cutting in the back as well until we create texture all throughout the top and the back of his mohawk. And then for the lineup, as always, y'all know I like to use spritz, so I'm gonna get a few pumps into his hairline on the front and on the back of his mohawk as well. And I'm gonna just blow dry it till it's dry to the touch and it's really has hardened up, and I'm gonna shape out the back mohawk. I'm gonna angle it kind of around the bottom of his ear, and then just make sure that I come down straight to the back middle of his neck, and then just repeat the exact same thing on the right side until we get an even triangle shape on the back of his head. And now for the front, I'm gonna just start down in the middle of his forehead, and then I'm gonna just work my way off to one side of his head, and then I'll create that sharp box angle, and then I'll just do the exact same thing on the opposite side until we have a straight horizontal line going across his forehead as straight as possible. I'll be using our very own matte black Turkish razor blade. If you'd like to purchase one, I'm gonna leave it linked down in the description, or y'all could visit us at fadedculture.co to purchase one. So before I start shaving, I apply some shaving gel, guys, to help that razor slide that much easier. And then I'm always tugging with my opposite hand on the skin to create tension on the skin and help that razor glide as smooth as possible without nicking or cutting the client. And as soon as I've shaved down everything, I'll come back in and reverse shave so that we can get that deeper shave and a longer lasting shave as well. I'm gonna also detail the back mohawk with the straight razor so that we have that clean, sharp lineup in the back as well. So once I was done with that, I just went ahead and added a little quick design just to accent the side of his mohawk. And I went with the little upside down cross. I know a lot of people try to associate this cross with the Antichrist symbol, but it has another meaning to it as well. It's also the cross of St. Peter, and it's upside down because when they chose to crucify him, he chose to be hung upside down since he felt he was unworthy to be hung as Jesus was. So I thought that was pretty deep, and I've always liked the cross because of that. But after that, guys, I just added a little bit of enhancements to the lineup. I try not to go too dark because his hair is dyed in blonde on top. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. I came in and added a matte clay, and I kind of spun it into the top of his hair to get really down to the root and kind of bring out that texture that we added with our shears, as well as on the back. And then we just kind of played with the hair until we found a desired look that we were satisfied with. But again, guys, here's the before in case y'all forgot what he looked like, and here's the after. I hope y'all guys really took something from this tutorial on how to do a skin mohawk with some texture on top. If y'all did, let me know down in the comments, and also don't forget to like this video, guys. Also, don't forget to check out the rest of the videos that we have on the channel, and visit us at fadedculture.co to shop any of our merchandise and our razor blades or our barber capes. So again, guys, thank y'all for watching. My name is Sergio Barron, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.